I'll start again. I'll just start again. So there's just been another net problem. Okay. Hello, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this webinar on India-Africa trade and investment potential being organized. Ambassador Ismail Alatise, Deputy High Commissioner of Nigeria to India, Mr. Ernest Nana Adjei, Minister Councillor Political and Economic, Ghana High Commission, New Delhi, Mr. Suresh Makijani, Joint Director General, Trade Promotion Council of India. Her Excellency Ambassador Grace Akello, High Commissioner of Uganda to India, had also confirmed her participation but had to withdraw at the last moment due to some exigency. Before we commence this session, I will share a brief perspective on the trends and potential of trade between the two partners. India and Africa have huge potential to explore trade and investment opportunities as both regions together have a market of 2.5 billion people. This itself is a sign of the huge potential of business and trade in the coming decade. India and Africa share a rich history of cultural, economic, and political interactions rooted in the spirit of developing together as equals. Indeed, India-Africa ties may yet define the contours of the international order along more egalitarian lines. Bilateral trade figures vividly depict the close ties between two partners. In 2020, despite the global pandemic, India's exports to Africa remained at US $26.1 billion, while imports from Africa were recorded at US $27.5 billion, thus taking bilateral trade figures to US $53.6 billion. India's exports to Africa are diverse, ranging from mineral fuels to automobiles, pharmaceutical products, machinery, frozen meat, and cereals. On the other hand, Indian imports from Africa are dominated by mineral fuels, gems and jewelry, inorganic chemicals, copper, fertilizers, and edible fruits. Main export destinations for India and Africa include South Africa, Kenya, Egypt, Nigeria, Tanzania, Mauritius, Mozambique, Algeria, Ghana, and Ethiopia. Major African countries that India imports from include Nigeria, South Africa, Angola, Egypt, Morocco, Ghana, Algeria, Tanzania, Libya, and Botswana. As I mentioned earlier, some of the top Indian products exported to Africa include medium oils and preparations, medicaments, semi-milled or wholly milled rice, cane or beet sugar, motorcycles, passenger cars, boneless meat or bovine animals, frozen commercial vehicles, broken rice, and vaccines. And we also see a lot of potential in terms of exports in products like pharmaceuticals, frozen boneless meat, light oils and preparation, insecticides, and again cars. Although we are exporting, we see a lot of potential there. And the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, which commenced on January 1 this year, could play a key role in expanding India's trade and investment footprint in the region and promote domestic industrial enterprise in export-oriented manufacturing. The AFCFTA Pact connects 1.3 billion people across 55 countries with a combined gross domestic product valued at US $3.4 trillion. According to the World Bank, full implementation of the AFCFTA could boost Pan-African income by 7% or nearly US $450 billion. The agreement could also significantly expand expand African trade, especially intra-regional trade and manufacturing. India has an intrinsic interest in helping Africa achieve progress. The spirit of developing together as equals defines this bilateral partnership. A resurging Africa and a rising India can give a strong impetus to South-South cooperation, especially when it comes to addressing challenges in areas like clean technology, climate-resilient agriculture, maritime security, connectivity, and blue economy. However, the partnership is yet to achieve its full potential, and it definitely needs new direction and energy. I would now request Suresh Makijani, sir, to present his perspective on India-Africa collaboration and investment potential.
Thank you very much, Virat. And let me start with the four main pillars embody India's commitment to Africa Development Partnership: trade and investment, strong people-to-people ties, and the defense and security matters. As of 2020, India had executed 194 development projects in 37 African countries and was working to complete 77 additional projects in 29 countries. with a total outlay of US dollars 11.6 billion. These range from infrastructure to ICT, from power generation and distribution to water and irrigation, from railways to roads, agriculture to sugar plants. In 2012, the Government of India set up the Development Partnership Administration, housed under the Ministry of External Affairs, to govern India's outgoing development assistance. Going forward, DPA as an administrative agency has the potential to play a more definitive role. The biggest challenge for Indian line of credit funded initiatives in Africa is ensuring effective and timely implementation of the projects. The joint monitoring mechanism with the African Union is crucial for improving India's delivery mechanism. Cooperation on global issues. India and Africa have often held common positions in global platforms and worked together to guard the interests of other developing countries. They have moved joint proposals such as the Agricultural Framework Proposal and Protection of Geographical Indications at the WTO and World Intellectual Property Organization, and have worked towards protecting the food and livelihood concerns of farmers at the Doha development round of WTO negotiations. The framework for strategic cooperation, the outcome document of the third India-Africa Forum Summit, also mentions that India and Africa will enhance cooperation through training and collective negotiations on global trade issues, including at the WTO, to protect and promote the legitimate interests of developing countries, especially the least developed countries. Investment scenario. India's cumulative investments in Africa are at around US dollars 54 billion, thus making it the fifth largest investor in Africa. While both are becoming key trade and investment partners, undoubtedly there remains great uncharted potential. As per the assessment, the two sides can realistically target bilateral trade of US dollar 100 billion and Indian investments in Africa to US dollar 75 billion in the years to come. Indian initiatives like Focus Africa, duty-free tariff preference scheme for least developed countries have succeeded in lifting bilateral trade and investment to new heights. Various African countries have also benefited from India's DFTP scheme. More than 25 African least developed countries are eligible to participate in this scheme. Under the scheme, duty-free access is granted to LDCs on their exports to India for 96% of the tariff lines, with an extra 2.2% subject to preferential duties, leaving only 1.8% of product lines. In terms of investment opportunities, there is clearly a lot of scope for investments in establishing forward and backward linkages. Indian investments are presently focused on primary commodities like oil, gas and mining, agriculture, textiles, automobiles, healthcare, pharmaceuticals, telecom, ITEC, banking and services. I will end here to thank you very much. Over to you with that.
Thank you for your address, sir. I would now request Ambassador Ismail Alatise, Deputy High Commissioner of Nigeria to India, to share his perspectives on the partnership and its potential.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Firat Bari, Mr. Shores Makujeni, and my dear brother Ernest Nana, a lady from Ghana High Commission. And also I say very warm good day to the audience out there. Let me begin by expressing appreciation to the organizers of this webinar, the TPCI, for inviting me to be part of this very important discussion today. I thank you. I appreciate your interest in Africa, your interest in Nigeria, and of course, your interest in moving forward the Indo-Africa relations. Having said that, I want to take as the point of departure of my introductory remarks a declaration some time ago made to the effect that any businessman who take up the challenge to invest in Africa now, he will certainly belong to the group of the global billionaires, the next generation. This is to say that Africa is the future. There is no any contention about it. In the recent time, many analysts have made this observation that for a very long time, Africa had dragged behind. But now the time has come for the global players to pay attention to Africa. And I think it is in the same perspective that this event is being organized, because we really need to talk and talk and talk so that at the end of the day, it's going to be in the interest of our mutual togetherness, to achieve success along the line. Having said that Africa is the future, I also want to say that since I'm representing Nigeria specifically, I'd like to say that Nigeria is not just the heart of the ECOWAS, the sub-region, but also the gateway to the African economy. And I'm sure that this is also not contestable because Nigeria has the largest market, for any type of business you want to do, and it is the largest economy in Africa. And then when you start any business in Nigeria, I can guarantee you that within a very short time, if you have the business acumen, you'll be able to spread, your business into other West African countries in the first instance, and later, if it is your desire, you find yourself in all over African continent, and you can even go beyond. Like I have an example of this Indian origin company in Nigeria, that is Olam. Olam Nigeria Limited, as you know, is an Indian company, agro-business, started the business in Nigeria in the 80s, and today is boasting of a presence, in over 78 countries in the world, not just in Africa. And this business actually started, it has its roots in Nigeria. So this tells you how good Nigerian soil is for any business. The potentials are just there. You only need to get there, think of what you want to do, and you begin to work along the line of your future plan. And Nigeria and India, we are not strangers to each other. We've been together for a very long time. A very long time, I would say time immemorial, because the informal interaction had been there for a very long time. But specifically in 1958, that was when the formal interaction of a bilateral relation began. When India opened its foreign relations office in Lagos. This is even before Nigeria, gained its political independence. And after independence, this office now, transformed to what we now call today as the India High Commission in Nigeria. So the bilateral relation between the two countries have been very, very warm and cordial and really productive. It's been productive, and because the seed of friendship that was sowed in 1958 was nurtured to fruition. And we continue to cooperate. We are both sides are committed, to continue with this cooperation and also the bilateral relation that has always existed between the two countries. At the same time, in the international fora to which both countries belong, we have always cooperated with each other, supporting each other whenever we have candidature. So this shows again that the two countries, we are not strange, to each other. And indeed, we are friends and we are committed to taking this friendship further and further, high and high. Trade and investment between India and Nigeria present a very good outlook. It started from that humble beginning, very small. The statistics I was able to get says that as at before 2012, the total volume of the trade and investment between the two countries is just about $12 billion. Before, but it wasn't even up to that amount. But gradually, it started growing, and by 2014, it grew up to $17.5 billion US. And India is also the largest importer of Nigeria's crude oil today. India also imports some cash crops from Nigeria, just like cashew and other pulses. Wood is also imported from Nigeria, cotton, pearls, rubber, and gum arabic. These are some of the things that India, get from Nigeria, to import from Nigeria. So in a nutshell, what I'm saying is that the bilateral relation between the two countries is a very vital one. It's warm, it is going on very well. Our two governments are committed to taking it further, to the next level. And for us in the High Commission, we do all we can, to facilitate this journey to go on and on. We interact with virtually all the chambers of commerces that are available. There are many of them. We interact with them, and we do as much as we can to facilitate their visit to Nigeria. And this is what we have been doing and will continue to do. I think on this note, I will say thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to make this introductory remark. So as time goes on, I will give more information as may be expected of me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I'll now request Mr. Ernest Nana Adjei, Minister Counselor, Political and Economic, Ghana High Commission, New Delhi, to deliver his remarks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Suresh, and also Mr. Barry. And I want to also thank my senior colleague, Ambassador Ismail, who is also a friend and a brother. And I also want to thank the Trade Promotion Council of India for this opportunity given to me, and also to represent the head of mission who is currently not around. We are hoping that he'll come soon to make interventions in this great gathering. I believe strongly that it's an opportune time for us to talk about trade and investment, because the times in which we are calls for we to be very strategic in our engagements and our deliberations, particularly given the fact that the world has been seriously affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, which we all know that it had moved from being a health crisis to creating economic crisis. And as a fact, anything related to economic trade and investment, it's a welcome idea for us. Thank you so much for this opportunity once again. And I would want to, first of all, touch briefly on Ghana-India relations, because that is why we have had the opportunity to engage with proactive institutions like the Trade Promotion Council of India. As you may know, Ghana's relations with India dates back way before even Ghana's independence. And fortunately for Ghana, we've had great political collaboration with India, starting from the first president of Ghana and also the first Prime Minister Nehru, who actually were strong friends and very strong brothers who fought and worked towards the formation of the non-aligned movement. With that, Ghana has actually been a very close partner with India, and for over the years, we have enjoyed very cordial relations with India, which actually have found expression of good cooperation at both bilateral and also the multilateral levels. And I believe strongly that this positive, and the vibrant relations between Ghana and India has actually translated and also gone further past only political interactions, now looking much more into how we could collaborate on economic front for the economic development of both countries. Today, we know that we have thousands of Indians and people of Indian descent living and engaged in diverse productive ventures in Ghana. So Ghana and India's relation, it's one of a kind that the government of Ghana always would want to strengthen, would want to deepen, and would want to promote even among the Committee of Nations. Why? Because we see India as an emerging economy that has the potential to also make impact in developing countries through its own policies and engagement. So I would want to say that Ghana and India's relation, today we talk much more of how we can solve our problems together and how we can solve economic problems and economic challenges together through enhanced partnership. Just last week, the Foreign Ministry of Ghana and the Foreign Ministry of India had strategic ministry consultations, which was held in Ghana. And we had the Deputy Minister of Ghana leading the delegation, and also the Indian Secretary leading the delegation from India. And the issues that were discussed were to solidify and to enhance our bilateral relations. Ghana, as we all know, is considered as a gateway of West Africa. In fact, over the past 2 decades, Ghana has enjoyed increasingly stable and deepening democratic governance. This is one of the credentials we talk about in terms of investment attraction and in terms of promotion of trade. And we believe that Ghana has been very successful because of the kind of policies we put in place after 1992, when Ghana returned to former democratic regime and constitutional rule. We've had 7 elections and it's been very successful. So in terms of political stability, Ghana is considered to be a place where we can actually be comfortable doing business. You know, every investor has 2 things in mind: stability in the environment where the investment is made, and also stability with respect to his business. So if you are doing a business that is not in an environment that is politically stable, you begin to fear for your investment. And we want to assure Indian investors, and as the statistics later, when I go into the questions, we'll see what has gone on. Ghana it's a stable place politically for doing business. You know, talking of ease of doing business, realize that Ghana is ranked #1 in terms of West Africa, according to Ease of Doing Business Report 2019, and also 4th in Africa. So this is a place we always talk about where investments are secured because of the prevalence of rule of law. It's also the most preferred destination within the sub-Saharan Africa, in terms of investment and trade. Within even the sub-region, we leverage on our presence as a member of the ECOWAS, which my brother spoke to. Nigeria is the head of the headquarters of ECOWAS, Nigeria. And Ghana, it's a very strong member of ECOWAS within the region. Currently, the president of Ghana is the chair of ECOWAS. So we have come a long way of assuring investors of safety and progressive investment when you look into Ghana. And I would just want to conclude my introductory remarks by saying that currently, the government of Ghana is committed to implementing strategic policies that is targeting investment and trade, particularly to make doing business very comfortable and easy in Ghana. So we have put in place policies that are digitizing a lot of things we have and we do in Ghana. Currently, Ghana, as we are having our census, and that everything that is being done is digitized. So talking about these innovations and these initiatives by the government, we can say that doing business in Ghana is comfortable and it's made easier. And even though we have not reached there yet, we would want to promote this initiative and then talk about it. In the next sessions, I'm sure we are going to talk into details about the substantive issues of trade, investment, how we can get it. And I thank you so much for this opportunity to do this introductory session. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for your remarks. And I would now like to come to some of the key questions which we have in our interactive segment of this webinar. Firstly, I would like to come to Ambassador Ismail Al-Attise. Sir, India's investments in Nigeria are estimated at around $20 billion. How do you view the role of Indian companies in the Nigerian economy and the potential of investment growth going forward?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Virat. As I noted during my introductory remarks, the trade and investment between India and Nigeria looks very good. And from the humble beginning that I mentioned earlier, it has continued to grow. In fact, you can say exponentially. Exponentially, because if in 2014, we jumped to 17.5, I mean, from just about 2 years, you can see that this is exponential. And again, we are now talking about 2020. As of 2020, we have about $20 billion, like we put it, and which is the correct figure that you find everywhere in most of the write-ups nowadays. Let me underscore that apart from the effect of the pandemic that happened last year, we've had it so smooth, between the two countries. And the untoward effect of the pandemic is what we are trying to see how we can manage together now. Let me underscore here again that Nigeria is currently India's largest trading partner in Africa and also the 13th largest in the world. I should also add that the volume of bilateral trade between the two friendly countries will continue to grow like I said earlier, because there are so many opportunities, there are many potentials, especially in Nigeria, because currently we have counted almost 140 companies, either wholly or partly owned by Indians in Nigeria, which tells you how conducive the environment has been for them. I always like to say that we have in Nigeria today Indians of almost 3 generations, living happily. Some of them have even taken Nigeria as their second home. Some have already acquired Nigerian citizenship. And as the question put it, what has been their contribution? I would say that the Indian companies have played very active roles, and they have contributed immensely, to the development process in the various sectors of Nigerian economy. I just give some example. Out of these about 140 that I said we have counted, take Dana Group. Dana Group is an Indian company and is into pharmaceuticals, manufacturing some highly required medicines, for some diseases that are common in Nigeria. Dana is also into manufacturing of vehicles, commercial vehicles. You also see Dana in a plastic manufacturing, Dana Steel, Dana here in the aviation, and then Dana Shipping. So you can see that Dana has come to establish itself in Nigeria. It has become part and parcel of the Nigerian system. And then you can look at the multiply effects of all these various elements of the Dana Group in Nigeria. So like I said, the Indian companies, they are doing very well, adding value to their investment and also making positive impact on Nigerians. So it is a win-win situation. I also like to mention Uflex. Uflex is a packaging film manufacturer, very popular, has its headquarters in Noida here. And only last year, or shortly, I think maybe 2019 or early 2020 before the pandemic, the company opened its largest plant in Nigeria, trying to reach out to other parts of the world from Nigeria. So this tells you that the Indian business people, they are making it in Nigeria, making wave, because they have found Nigeria to be the investment haven, and it is the first destination. I know for anybody that really want to do business in Africa, the moment you find your feet firm in Nigeria, you can spread to anywhere you want to go. Quite a number of them are like that. They don't just exist in Nigeria. They only start off in Nigeria. And then within a very few years, you see them first in other West African countries and then beyond. I also want to mention that of the 7-Up bottling company, then the Bajaj Auto, just like we have Auto here, we have, if you go to Lagos now or any other city in Nigeria, you will think you are in some areas in India, because you see the Bajaj Auto, the way we see it on the street here, there are very plenty here, there. So that is another company that is making wave in Nigeria. I mentioned Olam earlier, and then in the health sector, we have the Primus Specialty Hospital. That has its hospital in Nigeria, in Abuja specifically. And then we have Skipper Seal, which is into investment in the power sector in Nigeria. So we have quite a number of them, like I said, almost 140, and we are still counting because we received delegation, in the High Commission, and virtually every time. Even during the pandemic, we have been having series of discussion, a virtual meeting. People that want to go, they want to know this, they want to know that because they are interested in going to Nigeria to establish their business. The truth is that the potential for investment and for business in Nigeria is so huge. It is there for all comers. For as long as you are ready to play according to the game, to the rule of the game, you fit it. you cannot have the kind of return you have in Nigeria in a number of other countries. We're very liberal. You have opportunity to own your company only if that is your desire. So no obstacles on your way. So, like I said, the Indian companies, because your question is what role have they played, whether they have actually contributed immensely, and at the same time, they have added value to their own investment. And I'm looking forward, I would say that when you, for example, look at the trade balance between the two countries, you want to say that the trade balance is in favor of Nigeria. But I tell you, this is simply because of the preponderance of the crude oil imports from Nigeria. So what I'm trying to say is that what we are looking for or looking forward to is a situation where, apart from oil, India will now import quite a number of other things from Nigeria because we have a lot of importable, commodities in Nigeria. So we want to see how India diversifies, its import from Nigeria, so that it won't just be a relation, economic or trade relation that is dominated by just oil and gas. So it is important as a way forward, like you asked me. I think this is very important. We need to take care of that. We need to widen the scope, and incidentally, the government in Nigeria today is diversifying the economy, because we have found that for a very long time we have made our economy to be dependent on oil, but the government of today said, no, this will not take us anywhere. We need to really diversify. So we have opportunities. We are making everything, to attract investment, into all the sectors of our economy. Mention them, the solid mineral, the healthcare, and then there are still all the opportunities even in the oil and gas, not necessarily by importing the crude or by coming in and investing. You can have your companies, whether maybe the petrochemicals or any other thing that are related to this oil. You can establish anything, and then you can add value to your investment fund in Nigeria. So I would say that the telecom IT is also, because we are promoting our digital economy, and it's very, very active, very lucrative. We have all comers from all over, the Chinese, the American, the British, everybody is coming around. So India, as a friendly country, and then with the level we have reached in our bilateral economic relation, trade investment, I would want to see India increasing the volume of its investment in that sector too. And I think going forward, like you said, these are the areas I think we need to pay attention. I will emphasize on the issue of the health sector later, because I know we are still going to talk about how do we move forward in the post-COVID era. So I will say more about that. I think I will stop here, to take the second question. I don't know the way you want to. Am I taking the second question now? I will come back.
Yes, I'll come to that. In fact, it's interesting. You should point to the interest of Indian companies in Nigeria. It's also very evident in the questions and the chat box we are getting on this webinar itself. I can see a lot of people asking questions on how to invest and things like that. I think we can probably take that up later. We can, request everyone to maybe send us mail, and with their specific questions, we could address them with the High Commission as well. And yes, so secondly, I would like to ask you the major areas where businesses in the two economies can collaborate to accelerate economic recovery post-COVID. And yes, we also have a significant Nigerian diaspora here, so we know the interest is mutual. So what are the sectors of interest for Nigerian companies in India now when it comes to investment and trade?
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, like I said a while ago, the investment opportunity in Nigeria, or the potential, is very huge. It's just a matter of what you are interested in, which area you want to go. I will still mention to you that, for example, the solid mineral is beckoning. Beckoning because for a very long time, we didn't pay attention to that sector. But recently, the government of today has done wonderfully well in trying to bring out the potential, that is embedded in this sector. And then we are inviting everybody to come around. And I think this is one area that Indian businesses, can come, to invest and have some partnership with their Nigerian counterparts. We want to encourage the private sector in Nigeria and the private sector in India, to sit down and look at how they will do it together. There's also opportunity for public-private partnership in Nigeria. It is just what you want as an investor. We always say that, please come around, sit down with us, ask questions, we will tell you how to go about it. And anything you want to do, everything has been prepared for you. We have a body that takes care of prospective investors in Nigeria. We call it the NIPC, the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission. We'll hand you over to them. They will facilitate everything for you. So either you want to go to the solid mineral, you want to go to the health sector, you want to go to the oil and gas, you want to go to the agro-allied, anyone is your choice. All these are opportunities. In this post-COVID era, we have to, the key word is for us to expand, expansion is the word that we need to emphasize because they are there. So if we want to expand, then we will get more results, on a win-win formula that you get value for your money, and then you impact positively on the communities where you are going to have your business. So there's no doubt about that. The COVID, it's like a wake-up call again, for countries, because it exposed the fragility of quite a number of the economies in the world, and also the fact that the health sector has also been very weak. For us in Nigeria, we have realized that for a very long time, we have not paid enough attention to our health sector, and the government is now awake to that responsibility. So whenever I talk to the hospitals here, because currently it's like they're enjoying like what I would call a boom, because if not for the pandemic, Nigerians will troop in as medical tourists every now and then. And I keep telling them that this thing is not going to continue for a very long time, especially now that the Nigerian government has woken up, to the reality that we have to develop our base. We have to develop our health infrastructure so that the kind of experience we had with the COVID, we will never have a repeat of it. And of course, the Indian government also, both our countries, in fact, the entire Africa and India, we had almost a similar experience, even though India, was better off in terms of health infrastructure. But notwithstanding, we all saw the way the government had to battle, to be able to contain the infection of this virus. So, which tells us that in our collaboration, in our strategic partnership, lies the way forward. We need to share information. We need to come together on the threshold of innovation. We need to cross-fertilize ideas. And then, since we are friends, and like I said initially, we have had a very robust relationship. So we should take it further. Come together, see what is it that I can offer, see what is it that you can offer, and then see how we can manage the resources on both sides, and then for the benefit of our people. And I think this is the way forward. Keeping in view the effect of the pandemic, like I said, because most of the sector were actually affected. I don't think there's any sector of the economy of any country that is not affected. But at least I can say that of Nigeria and India, because I've been here. I was here throughout the period, and I know how much effort the government made to divert resources into fighting this pandemic. And then what effort the government has made, to prevent such an experience in the future. So we are in the same, we are more or less at the same level now in terms of what do we need to do to ensure that this kind of experience does not repeat itself. And of course, how do we get out of the wood that this pandemic has pushed us into? So I would say, by way of emphasizing that we have the potentials, especially for us in Nigeria. We have the potentials. We are asking our Indian friends to come one and come all. We are there, we are waiting for them. Certainly, when they bring their investment fund, they will add value to it. And certainly, as a friend, we will also benefit because they will employ our youth. I mean, they will also, whatever product they bring to the market, it will bring them money. It will also add value to our life. So we want them to come around, to go into any sector of their choice. We are not going to force anybody that go to this, but just make a choice. We have everything you want. And then now looking at it the other way, that for Nigerian companies, I think for a very long time, Nigerian private sector has not been exposed to the potentials that are available in India for them. And then again, probably also because of certain policies that are put in place in India, they probably are not finding it very attractive because they might be looking at it that may be very, very, very difficult for them to, to really come in and partake, effectively in the economy. So I want to believe that the Indian High Commission in Nigeria is making effort along this line, trying to, expose the opportunities that are here, to the Nigerian private sector so that they can come around and see. I'm not aware of any many Nigerian companies, operating here. And again, at the level of the diaspora that you talk about, most of them are not even able to do anything that is that we can call productive, so to say. And that explains why quite a number of them fall into committing crimes, So we have always been talking and appealing to the Indian government to create, no matter how small space, for these youthful Nigerians to be able to, to have some opportunity, to have some engagement, economic engagement. So I'm happy you mentioned this. I think this is one area that the friendly government of India will have to look at. We talk about giving maybe import licenses. We have been talking about this all this time, and then we hope that one day we'll be able to break the jinx. And I think on this note, I will stop there to take further questions, and then I might be able to add more to the issue of the post-pandemic era as we go on. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you, sir. Final question at this juncture is on the services sector, since India is a major exporter of IT, education, and healthcare. Also, we have been supporting African nations. So, what are the areas where you see opportunity to diversify and grow the services trade between India and Nigeria?
Thank you very much. Yeah, there's no doubt that India is a giant in the, for example, the global information and communication technology industry. I'm here and I interact with a lot of people, and I can see how much the IT sector has contributed to the Indian economy. And I can see that there's a lot that Nigeria can learn from their Indian counterparts. And as we continue to expand our own and develop our own ICT industry, like I said earlier, under the canopy of our digital economy, we stand to benefit immensely, from the India's technology and wealth of experience. So, government of India and the India private sector, we will expect them to increase and multiply their investment in this sector. And again, transfer of technology is very important. I know that through the ITEC training programs, quite a number of Nigerians have come around, not only in the ICT industry alone. They have been trained, their capacities have been spurred up, so to say. But I think we need to go beyond that. We need to go beyond that. And I'm also going to say something about that. When I talk, I will make a remark finally about Africa in general and the way India has been trying to reach out to Nigerians, especially the youth. So I also mentioned this eVidya Bharat, this EVBAB, I mean the tele-education. It is a very good idea, a very good program that is benefiting a lot of youths in Africa generally, not just in Nigeria. So I want to recognize that as one of the ways that the partnership we are talking about can gain momentum. So also that of the telemedicine. It's also because this is another another sector that's very, very important. Like I mentioned earlier, that our health sector in Nigeria is beckoning to investment, and then we want to share the experience of the very big hospitals that have established themselves here in India, and to which Nigerians are trooping, for treatment and for procedures. We continue to appeal to them that the time is now for them to go to Nigeria, establish their presence, rather than waiting for the medical tourists, to come around, because the number of people that are able to make it here is far less than the number of people that require these services. Because traveling itself is a burdensome thing. You think about the cost, and they discover that quite a number of people that even come here, they are sponsored, and that is why at times some of them run into problem when they come around, and they are not able to give anything extra upon what their sponsors give to them, and they didn't know that there could be escalation in the cost of the treatment they have come for. So, but if you take these services to them, quite a number, you get more people to patronize you, and so you get more value for your investment, and then your business will grow. And in any case, you will have also assisted, the less privileged who wouldn't have been able to make it to come to India. So this is an area that I want the health sector in India to pay attention, especially the private sector, the very big names, the Apollos, the BLKs, and the Fortis, and all the rest. I've had interpersonal interaction with them, and anytime we meet, I always emphasize this. They keep promising they will do it, but I think we should not delay further. I will appeal to them that they should begin to go to Nigeria, and whatever support they need from us in the High Commission, we are ready to give it to it. And then when they are landing in Nigeria, they will be landing in the hand of those who are going to facilitate all they need to know and all they need to do to make it happen in Nigeria. So this is very, very important. So like I said, I want to eulogize these two programs. They're very good, but we need more. We need more, and our emphasis as a mission is on huge investments into the service sector, whichever you want to see, whether it is, if you want to go to the transport, please go there. The railway is there. The aviation is there. Like I mentioned, Dana in the first instance, there is a very large, domestic aviation sector. You go there and then contribute your own quota while you make more money too, to return to your country of origin. So let me also echo here that the values that propels India's development cooperation, because all that I've been talking about is about cooperation, partnership. We have come to understand that India's idea of demand-driven partnership, and then without imposing, conditionalities, and then making it free and hinging it on the principle of partnership among equals, is very, very good. We really appreciate this. But however, we feel that India needs to look at this development model again. You take, for example, we say the Chinese are bulldozing everywhere, they're everywhere, but we need to examine the Chinese model, and that of like the US aid, and then like that of JICA, what they do is that they take this effort to Nigeria, to the different African countries. Whereas what I've seen in India is that we just, bring your people, let us train them. it doesn't give opportunity to an average African youth to appreciate the support of India. I mean, like all these other countries that I've mentioned, because they are there. They have their institutions there, they are physically present. So everybody can see what they are doing. So I am thinking that if India can review this model and try to, learn one or two things, that will make it possible for the Indian model to now allow, taking these efforts, this partnership, this support to Africa. I'm not talking about Nigeria alone, Africa in general. I think an average African youth will appreciate it the more. Well, let me repeat again that what we are getting on the platform of ITEC, it is good. The ICCR, I mean, the way they promote scholarship and all the rest for Nigerians and Africans in general, it is appreciated. I mean, it is appreciated, and it should continue. But the point is that we need to go beyond that. We need to do something more that will have better impact. And then we also need to, to jettison this idea of, wanting to allow what we hear or we feel on the television to affect our psyche in taking decisions about whether we should take our investment to Africa or not. Whether we like it or not, no matter what anybody will want to say about the Chinese are making impact. And it is not necessarily a death trap when we ask them to come and we partner with them, they spend their money. For the countries that know that they can manage the debt, I think is a good thing, because we see the impact that this model of assistance is making on our society. And I think India should just brace up and try to take the risk and move to Nigeria, move to any other country in Africa. And I'm sure that it's going to be a win-win sort of relationship, and then everybody will laugh at the day. We should not allow this hate speech, so to say, to color or colonize our thinking about whether we should take our investment to Nigeria or go back. And then again, with Nigeria specifically, there's insecurity. I had the privilege of, discussing this kind of thing about 2 months ago or less, and I put it to the audience. I said, look, is there any country where there are no challenges? There are none. I mean, India now, I know India government is also battling with certain challenges. So we have our challenges, but we are up to the task we are managing. We are going to surmount whatever challenges we have today. It's not something that will continue forever. And then even now, it doesn't really affect any investment you want to bring to Nigeria. You only need to go it the right way. If you do not go behind, the scene, you come straight, you come to the High Commission, we introduce you to people that matter. If you want to go to Nigeria, for example, if the fear of insecurity is what the government will facilitate everything for you, you'll be protected. So we don't have to allow this kind of negative impression created by people to affect our relationship. We should be able to move it further. We should be able to, to take this risk. Let me put it that way, if you want to call it a risk, because that is what the Chinese have done. And then people are now accusing them of being everywhere because they are taking this. They didn't listen to those speeches. They behave as investors, as business people. They go there, see for themselves, and they were able to manage their resources, to impact on the society and also to add value to their investment fund. I think I will stop at this point. Wait for further questions if there are any. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your perspective. I would now like to come to Mr. Ernest Nana Adjei. Sir, firstly, I want to ask you the scope of collaboration in terms of lines of credit for development projects, where India has provided assistance to Ghana of around $480 million so far. How do you see this collaboration expanding in the coming years?
Okay, thank you so much for this question. And I have been listening very closely to my colleague and the great presentation on India and Nigeria. For the lines of credit, as we all know, I mean, we have received as a country over 480 million lines of credit from India in strategic sectors of economy, particularly in the provision of infrastructure development. We've had most of lines of credit go into railways, also into electrification projects, into even institutions and learning centers. We've also had lines of credit go into areas like water and sanitation. And I believe strongly that these are very strategic moves between Ghana and India, which we always want to look at. As we speak now, we know that a lot of members of CII and other institutions are in Ghana executing projects, I mean, worth over billions of dollars. However, there is a new twist in the Ghanaian policy right now, where since 2017, the president of Ghana and the government is championing what we call a one district, one factory agenda or policy, where we have within every district of the country be able to have manufacturing companies get themselves established in these areas. So over the years, lines of creditors have said, as we speak right now, AFCON is in Ghana working on railway lines. We have other companies working on other projects, all out of lines of credit. But the focus right now is that the government wants to focus on manufacturing, and particularly in areas of agro-processing. So why do we want to look at that? We are looking at that because as we speak now, Ghana is the headquarters of the continental free trade area. And as we know, the AFCFTA has come as a solid platform that is going to help intra-Africa trade. So government policies are tailored in such a way that we are able to advance our manufacturing status and get to a certain level where we're able to produce more and also help other African countries through the AFCFTA platform. So going forward on lines of credit, what government is looking at for is focusing on areas of manufacturing, where we'll be able to establish companies with these lines of credit and then have a solid manufacturing base within Ghana. Later on, I'll talk about some of the incentives that are there for when we set up. For instance, the Free Zones Act permits that once you establish your company and you are looking for 70% of export, you have certain tax incentives that you receive for a very long period of time. So if we would want to engage going forward, not only focusing on only railways or electrification, or yes, these are areas that are important, but what is the area that government is looking at? We're looking at areas of manufacturing because we want to leverage the AFCFTA currently and be able to make maximum impact. So as we know, AFCONS is an Indian company. I mean, we receive Exim Bank lines of credit for that. So if the same way we have Indian companies now moving into manufacturing, for instance, in agro processing, it's area that we are looking at for is cocoa processing. We know that Ghana is the second largest of cocoa production. Government is not actually willing anymore to send out raw cocoa beans outside. We might export, but it's going to be reduced. We want to add value to it. We want to add value and then send kind of finished products, trade within African countries and also. So we invite Indian companies that are into these areas. As we speak now, we have had a couple of Indian companies approach the mission to be able to go into cocoa processing. That said, we also have cashew processing. We know India imports a lot of cashew from Ghana and Benin and even Togo. But we would want to also look at how do we add value to it to make the work simpler for our Indian partners. So going forward on the collaboration of lines of credit, we focusing on much more of manufacturing and where we'll be able to engage Indian investors in that area and to create a win-win situation. Because as I said from the beginning, investment must be done in a very stable environment where you have stability also for your returns that would go on. So for lines of credit, this is government's position. That is also not to say that when there are other areas that we want to look out for in terms of energy or in terms of housing and construction, we will not do. No, but the main focus is we want to focus, look at the manufacturing areas. I think you can move on to the next question.
Right. Manufacturing, as you pointed out, is a major focus. Also, since we are talking on those lines, can you also enlighten Indian businesses on the benefits that Ghana provides as an investment destination, whether it's the policy environment or the ease of doing business, the market size and potential, which can help them better understand what should be their investment focus and roadmap?
Thank you so much. Once again, Ghana and India's bilateral relations, particularly looking at the economic arrangement, trade and investment, over the years have grown significantly. As we speak right now, I mean, business to business levels have increased. Today, India is one of the major trading partners of Ghana. I mean, the bilateral trade between Ghana and India crossed 1 billion mark, I mean, within 2011 to 2012, and over to 4.5 billion within 2018 to 2019. According to the Ghana Investment Promotion, that is for trade. Now we're looking at the investment. The Ghana Investment Promotion Center is the main government institution that is responsible for promoting Ghana's investment initiatives. Now, with Indian companies in Ghana, Indian companies have invested over 818 projects in Ghana, and with a total of 1.7 billion in between September 1994 to 2019. In 2018, we realized that Indian investment in Ghana went as far as over 2.7 billion. Now, what are the areas? For instance, in agriculture, we have over 44 projects. Building and construction, we have over 52 projects. Export and trade, we have over 113 projects. General trade, we have 162 projects. We have liaison, we have about 39 projects. Now, manufacturing, the reason why we are looking at manufacturing is the area that has recorded so many projects from India, and that is 254 projects. So, at any point in time, you have to be strategic. These are areas that we would encourage. And you wouldn't want to leave an opportunity like AFCFTA to just lie down. I mean, Ghana is now the host country of AFCFTA. And if already we have Indian investment in terms of manufacturing in Ghana, including over 254 projects, I mean, that speaks volumes. Why government would want to focus acquisition of land of credit into manufacturing. So we look at a service, we have 113 projects. At tourism, we have 141 projects. So you put all this together. So it's very important that we look at what is already happening between Ghana and India. And I mean, to develop a narrative that is better and that is very fulfilling and creating a win-win situation. Now, talking of incentives, you know, all these companies that are in Ghana, I mean, Indian companies working in Ghana, are enjoying a lot of incentives. For instance, we have, when you want to establish capital and machinery, plants, equipment that are going to be used for manufacturing, it is all eligible for exemption of tax. So this is one of the incentives. So whatever area of manufacturing or production you want to move into, what kind of engineering equipment, machinery, plants, everything is duty-free, tax-free. And there is a law that has been passed, you know, apart from even the GIPC Act, I mean, which talks about in section 26(2), where all these equipment come without any import duty or tax, so fully exempted. That is one incentive. And also, when we look at the areas where you would want to go into, there are concessions. If you want to do areas like cocoa production, there are incentives that are available for that. We've already spoken about having a very solid business environment, having a very solid political environment or stability in Ghana. But these are very tangible incentives that are there for investors. There is guarantee against expropriation. We also have the laws of Ghana promoting easy repatriation of dividends and profits in terms of tax, and also payments in respect of servicing of foreign loans. We also have transfers fees of technology all waived. For instance, the area that you would want to focus is in information communication technology, or transfer of resources, let's say from India, to are all tax exempted. We also talk of easy remittance in the event of liquidation of whatever project is being done. So Ghana provides such incentives. And as I said earlier, the Free Zones Act give incentive to production. As we speak right now, just last week, the president commissioned 2 assembling plants of Toyota and Suzuki in Ghana. As we speak now, we are not looking at Ghana only becoming a production within Africa. Our focus or government's policy is to be a manufacturing hub within West Africa and that of Africa. So Toyota has established an assembling plant. Suzuki established an assembling plant. As I said, this is in line with government's focus on making Ghana a manufacturing hub. It is time for India. It is time for strategic partnership in these areas, how we will be able to do it. And if we cannot look at these opportunities now, it will be very difficult for us to jump in the next 10, in the next 5 years, or in the next 15 years that we want to. This is the time. And for us at the Ghana High Commission, our duty is to encourage our brothers in India to take advantage of this. We will not let this opportunity just remain in Ghana or for other countries. Ghana and India's relation has gone so far where we must think of ourselves as brothers and work towards winning for each country in terms of our economic development strategies. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the perspective and giving us this heads up on the opportunity at present in Ghana. Also, what are the key areas of interest for Ghana, companies from Ghana in the Indian market, like investments, JVs, etc., and how are you working towards expanding these collaborations?
Thank you so much. I really am happy with this question because whenever we talk of investment, it should be a two-way thing. But however, most of the time you are thinking of how do you invest in the other country. Ghanaians are interested in partnership and are interested in joint ventures, particularly in the areas of agro-processing, in the areas of food processing, in the areas of pharmaceuticals and chemical industries. We know India is a giant in terms of pharmaceuticals. As we speak right now, we have about 4 requests on my decks looking for Indian pharmaceutical companies to partner. As we speak right now, about 3 pharmaceutical companies have also approached us that they would want to go and set up in Ghana. Spencer's is one of them in Hyderabad that we've already had meetings. So these are very strategic areas. Why are we looking at these areas? Because each one of these areas has a manufacturing base. You see, it's important for you to have harmony in policy. So it's not tactic. You do this, you do that. But Ghana, we want to focus. So the areas of partnership, joint ventures are very, very strategic initiatives that Ghanaians would want to invest, especially for pharmaceuticals. And as I speak now, maybe, through your networks, they could approach us anytime. Pharmaceutical companies that want to go into Ghana, no matter what you want, just, approach the Ghana High Commission. We are here to facilitate such transactions. We are here to put you in touch with the right institutions. We are here to let your investment in Ghana and also having a solid partnership. It's not anybody that could partner with a company that is so serious in its business. For instance, when we met Spencer's, we found out that there are areas that we will have to meet regulatory demands. So we advise them on what to do, and they have moved a step further. So the areas of pharmaceuticals, agro-processing, chemical industries. Also, another focus is on textiles and garments, ICT, and oil and gas. We believe that these are very strategic areas of investment that Ghanaians are interested in, and also Indians are interested where we could have a solid partnership. How do we go on with this? We also are the mission working to put our companies in touch with Indian companies through our Chamber of Commerce and also Association of Ghana Industries, where we could have solid partnership. It could be done at the company level, at company individual level, but the government's and the mission's role is to create that environment that will facilitate this engagement. So Ghana is ready, and we would want to change the narratives. The narrative, not only Ghana becoming an economic hub within West Africa or other parts of the continent, but also to be a country where our partners like India could see real dividends for their investment, see result for their engagement, where we are able to create a win-win situation for both countries. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your remarks and your insights on this very important topic. And really at the end of this very lively and interactive webinar, which seems to have answered some critical questions, but obviously there are a lot more, which as I would ask all attendees to address to us, and we'll try and get them answered. But before we close, I would like to ask both of you one closing question on the larger Africa-India perspective. How do you see the roadmap for Africa's recovery and growth in post-COVID, and what kind of trade, economic, and development cooperation should India and Africa target in this post-COVID, which whenever we come to, hopefully soon, we are coming to a post-COVID era. What kind of cooperation should we target? First of all, I would like to ask Pastor Ismail Alatise this question.
I would say that strategic partnership in infrastructure development is key. because when we talk about economic recovery, you will agree with me that infrastructure is crucial. For instance, for us in Nigeria, for a very long time, we have been battling with infrastructure deficits. And in the last 4 years, the Nigerian government has been working assiduously, to eliminate this deficit. In the last 4 years, the amount of money that has been pumped into infrastructure development is so huge that it has never happened in Nigeria before. But because of the realization that without solid infrastructure, take, for example, power, and take again issue of transportation. These are two very key sectors, to any development you want to have, any economic recovery you want to talk about. If you do not eliminate these deficits, you are not likely to get anywhere. So I will say that we are looking at that. We want partnership, in developing our infrastructure. And earlier on, I also mentioned that of the health infrastructure, because we have learned from the experience of how the outbreak of the COVID-19, gave us a serious headache. We realized that our health sector infrastructure was very, very weak. We needed to do a lot. And since then, government has come up with a policy inviting investors, even whether foreign or local, to go into this sector, and then facilitating everything for them. We have a lot of incentives that have been put in place for anybody that want to go into any of these sectors, to assist or collaborate, as it were, in developing the infrastructure in Nigeria. And I'm sure ditto for quite a number of other African countries, especially in the West African sub-region. I'm sure this will be a welcome development if India can do more in this aspect by coming up much more forcefully in assisting us to get out of the infrastructure deficit, whether it is in the power or in transportation or even in healthcare. I think this is what I feel should be the way forward. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Ernest Nana Adjei, your views, please.
Thank you so much. As we all know that the COVID-19 pandemic actually has had a unique impact, adverse impact on global economy. It has ravaged global economic activities and has materially affected even global capital markets. We know that. So at any point in time, what do we look at? How do we get out of this? It calls for innovative thinking and strategic thinking. We believe strongly that at this point in time of Africa's relations with India, we must think and be very strategic in the areas where we will be able to have much more collaboration in terms of health facilities. We know India is very formidable in terms of health, and we have a lot of Africans coming into India for all medical treatment and all that, but we would want to go beyond Africans coming into India. We want to have partnership where we'll be able to build these solid infrastructure in the areas of health. And this is one of the critical areas that we, I think within the African expectation of India-Africa relations, we're looking out for. We wouldn't want to let the narrative remain the same, that after COVID-19, Africa has still not been able to make progress in terms of its relations. That is not it, because even within the AU's Agenda 2023, we know that it also has been affected because of the COVID. Now it's called for strategic collaboration, where we'll be able to harness all our resources in the areas of health infrastructure and be able to forge forward. Aside working on health infrastructure, we want to look at the broader economic engagement, where we focus also on Indian companies leveraging on the AFCFTA. I believe that the AFCFTA is a solution to Africa's economic emancipation. We need to work with it, and we need to let it work for us. And by creating that environment, which India is solid, and I know that the areas where AFCFTA could facilitate and create a bigger market for India, it's now. As my colleague started, Africa is ready for action, and Africa is not going back. We want to move, even in the midst of all the challenges of COVID. We want to get things done. As we speak right now, we know that countries are going into bonds. For instance, Ghana is ready to roll it about 5 billion bonds to be able to work with that and then get proceeds to come out of this pandemic challenges. It's tough, but challenges of our time must call for us to do things not as business as usual. So from this perspective, as an African, first and a Ghanaian, we would want to understand that aside we developing our health infrastructure, the economic situation, which has become a big problem for not only African countries, but also for India, must be tackled. And how do we do that? AFCFTA, it's a platform for solid trade and investment within African countries. And we would encourage that India takes advantage of this, and then we work together as partners for positive benefits of our peoples. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So that brings me to an end, to the end of this webinar. And thank you so much, Ambassador Ismail El-Hatisseh, Mr. Ernest Nana Adjei, and Suresh Makijani, sir, for your views and presenting your perspective on the partnership and potential. We are positive that this will pave the way for more productive and fruitful discussions and collaboration between business and policy of India and Africa going forward. Thank you so much, sir, and I bring this session to a close now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.